Hi, this is Shade Foray with TaxSaleSupport.com. I'm here with Steven Swenson, and this is another one of our Property Deal of the Week videos here for October of 2021.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about an auction that took place in Nevada. And Nevada is a tax deed state. All the counties will hold tax deed auctions, but they do offer what's called a special assessment tax lien in some areas. Really, it's kind of the Reno area and the Las Vegas area. And really what it is the local government will put in some type of service or utility.
Yeah, they can place a tax lien sort of for things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what they reserve the right to do.
Sometimes things like curb and gutting, curbs and sidewalks and things like that. When they go in to do a new area, they'll go ahead and create a special assessment tax. And if the people don't pay that special assessment tax, then that tax lien has the same power as normal tax lien certificates.
Yeah, just like any other tax lien.
Yeah, but they're really just a tax deed state. That's just kind of a particular thing within those more populated areas.
Yeah. Now, before we talk about some of the properties here that sold, we've noticed that only about 15% of you guys are subscribed. So we want to encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that anytime we put out a video, you know.
Yeah, so in today's auction, we're going to be talking about Mineral County, Nevada, and this was an auction that took place back on September 18th.
Yeah. So it ended on the 28th.
September 28th, and it was held on Bid for Assets.
So let's take a look here at the first deal. So here we have looks like a single-family home that sold for $50,000.
Yeah, exactly. This was a single-family home. It opened up, I can't remember what it opened up for, maybe 12 or 15. Ended up bidding up to $50,000. The Zillow value on the property is $124,000. But if you look at the map on the right-hand side and up on the top, you can see that Zillow home. That home is right next to this property. And it just sold for $177,000. And it's kind of a similar type home. I mean, even if you look at both of the photos, they're kind of a similar style.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
So, they have it valued at $124 now. With some work, we know that the home just next door sold for, $177,000. So, even though this was, it sold for a pretty high amount, there's still $75,000 worth of potential profit, even at the $125,000 estimate.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure the rent estimate on it would probably still be upwards of $1,500 to $2,000 a month, probably.
Yeah, well, and all the properties within this area, this town, actually are going up in value. That was a trend that I saw throughout a lot of these homes.
And here we have another house that sold for $50,000 as well.
Yeah, well, what's kind of funny is both of these homes sold for $50,000 100.
Yeah.
Which means that somebody must have set their maximum at $50,000, and whoever went over that ended up winning the property. But this one has kind of a similar value, $127,000. But one thing that's kind of interesting is that rent estimate. At being, almost $1,400.
Yeah, $1,400 a month. This property has a ton of potential, and it's being picked up for, really a fraction of value. It's probably realistically being picked up for a third of value.
Yeah, well, and if we look at the left-hand side, we can see that this area is going up. So, even though this is a more rural area in Nevada, this Hawthorne area still is an area that's growing, and over the last 30 days has gone up by 1.7%, which shows us that at least the property values are rising within this area.
Yeah, and rising pretty quickly. Here we have a commercial property that was sold for $35,100, and that is valued at least $100,000.
Yeah, well, one thing that was kind of interesting is if you look at these photos. I got these photos off of just Google Maps or Google Earth, but I noticed that these photos were taken in March of 2021. So we're talking about pretty recent street views, and we can see how that they've boarded up the windows, but there's also a car still in the parking lot as well. So I didn't get into enough of the research to see what this property is potentially valued at. But I think at $35,000, even if you were to convert this to office space or whatever else, for $35,000, even based on some of the home values, this is right across the street from gas stations and kind of right there in town.
Yeah, no, a pretty nice commercial property to be able to pick up for that kind of a price, and it has the potential to bring in monthly revenue.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's boarded up, I mean, it looks like it's in usable condition, and so that's been done as a precaution.
Yeah, doing it to protect it. And you can see that also the boarding up is kind of newer looking as well.
Yeah, it does look like something that was done recently.
The boards aren't really weathered.
Yeah, they are pretty new boards. Like it was probably put up in the last few months.
Yeah.
And here we have another home here. This home sold for $25,000.
Yeah, so for $25,000, Zillow's estimated around $67,000. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, around 800 square feet. So it's a smaller home, but they still have this thing renting out.
Yeah, it rents out for more than the last one.
Yeah, which is kind of a little bit funny to me. But even if you could get $1,200 a month out of it, and you were able to rent that property out, $1,200 a month at $25,000 paid.
Pay itself off in 2 years.
It's going to pay itself off in a couple of years.
Yeah, pay itself off in 2 years. Plus, you have the property still, and it's going up in value.
Exactly. So, I just went through some of the structured properties there on the first page. There was dozens of other good land deals that were picked up throughout this sale.
Awesome.
And so, just kind of wanted to focus on some of those structured properties, but there was a lot of other deals besides these that were picked up in the sale.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. There are still great deals that, that come across in tax sales, and that doesn't mean that there's not tax sales where there's a lot of competition, because there are also those. But there's still, like we show here, there's lots of good deals to be had and people that are still getting great deals.
Yeah, it's really just a matter of picking a good location and really sticking, doing the research, sticking to your game plan, and picking up a property at the price that you want.
Yeah. Well, if you like this type of information and you want more, you should sign up for our membership program. It's $39 a month and includes access to our live webinars that we conduct, access to tax sale lists, access to all of the training replays as well. And it's something that you can cancel anytime, so there's no real risk.
Yeah, it's going to give you access to really everything.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to hit that like button.
Yeah, appreciate it.